Happy Hump Day, Squatchers! I'm here to break down all of the action of this week's opening fireworks. So just a little note, what I'm going to try to do is a recap of all the action on Tuesdays and then a preview of all the action on Wednesdays. I don't know how that's going to go, but I want to try doing this video format. So this week, there'll only be a recap and there won't be a preview. If for some reason in the coming weeks I won't be able to make a video, I'll just do the tried and true method of creating a write-up and posting it to the league board like I did last year. So what you should look for each Tuesday and Wednesday is either a video or a write-up. But without further ado, let's look at all the games that transpired in this week. We'll begin with a game of D&D. The smack talk raged as the Muff Wranglers and Keenan and Kelvin shared fire up until the last minutes of this matchup. David didn't have to roll a 20 to seize this victory, as Dave's team sustained a heavy casualty in Allen Robinson. With a torn ACL, Robinson is already reported to be out for the year. While Dave's 2 trades made before the season didn't benefit him this week, he who has sworn that come week 5, he will not lose a single game. On the other side, David pulls out the victory despite a lackluster opening from his top receiving core. The powerhouses of the group collided in week 1, as Peanut Butter Titus faced off against the Deadlifting Brotherhood. These meat boys went through the grinder, but only one came out ungrounded. Despite the doubt that seasoned his team from his league mates, Cody stayed saucy and his team gave a balanced effort. While Dominic's team was no slouch in this matchup, they didn't have enough kick to keep up from getting grilled. While Dave predicted future wins, Cody has already guaranteed a victory this Sunday, saying he will, quote, monkey stomp a mud hole in Taver's ass. It was a storyline that riveted fans all last season. The veteran versus the raw talent. Last year's champion and number 1 seed taking on last year's number 2 seed and runner-up in the championship game. Mike and Steven's teams came out swinging just as they did a year ago, but again, experience bested belief. Some speculate the infamous Langford-Murray trade last year all but cemented Mike's championship run. A trade that could potentially live in similar infamy took place as Mike acquired Stafford and Carr. This contributed to his powerful showing on Sunday. Steven's Schleem team, while on paper a solid squad, could not get it together. Also, he should have played the Jaguars defense. Like, come on, Steven. You played him in the other league. Why didn't you play him last week? What are you doing? Mike, the Sludge King Reyes, is quoted as saying, "I'm just picking up from where I left off." Let's all hope the dark cloud doesn't loom over this league for much longer. When it's man versus machine, science fiction will tell you machine usually wins. That was the story on Sunday when Lance devastated Jibba's squad by almost 50 points. Upon closer inspection, neither team was all that impressive. It was upon the cross of Kareem Hunt that Lance gave his praise, and his prayers were answered with a fantasy win. Lance entered this season with a receiver suspended and on IR. This makes the poor showing by Jibba even worse. His defense went negative, Paul Perkins is hanging by a thread on the depth chart, and worst of all, David Johnson is most likely out for 2 to 3 weeks. Both owners will be drinking tonight, both for different reasons. Finally, I've saved the best for last. Victor, losing is my specialty, San Miguel Gonzalez III, defeated the ultimate opportunist to get his first victory of the season. This is a really big deal. This vanilla non-fat yogurt, if you remember, didn't win a single game last year till it counted in the Suck Bowl. Victor's unorthodox method of letting the app do all the work, drafting, seems to have paid off this week. Sure, he lost Danny Woodhead for a couple of weeks, but at least this week he came out on top. On the other side, this was not the type of outing Will needed coming out of the gate. Most of Matt Ryan's points even just came on a play to Austin Hooper that was way more a Bears error than Hawks genius. Besides that, his most consistent player was the artist formerly known as Delaney Walker. He's got to regroup after this one. Well guys, that has been the fantasy recap for all the action in week 1. So you won't be getting a preview this week of all the action that might transpire in week 2. But what I'm going to look to do is make another video for Tuesday to recap the action that happens this weekend. And then on Wednesday, I'll make a video to preview the action that will happen in week 3. That's the goal. If I can't get that out, then I'll just do a write-up instead of a video. And then you'll find that again like last year on the league message boards. Alright, good night and good squatch.